Hello, welcome to this video of Tomb Raider 2 Glitchless tutorial. Today is gonna be about Mario Doria. Easy level, like really easy, you will see. Just something before starting, so I won't repeat a couple of times during the tutorial. The pickups for Glitchless in this level are exactly the same. So I will pick up stuff and both routes will pick up those. And both routes won't pick up the one I don't pick up. Obviously, you can get extra things, but yeah. Just gonna mention one thing in the start that can be different depending on your main situation, and that's gonna be it. So let's go. So first, you just go in the water. You prepare a flare because you're gonna do a flare cancel after the emerging to the water here. But you won't have. It's better to draw the flare in the water because if you don't, what's going to happen is, for example, if you draw the flare here, you will lose time because you're going to need to pick up that med pack. So for example, if you draw the flare here, oops, well, let's pretend I just emerge. Okay, drawing the flare, I will have to I will have to wait for a few frames before being able to pick up the med, for example. And if you draw it after picking up the med, you won't be able to do the next sequence. So you draw it in the water if you want to do a flare cancel. Whatever you do, you pick up that med pack. Now you're in position to do a sequence, so I'm gonna explain it a bit detail, and if you have some trouble, you can check my glitch tutorial that explain this too, but I maybe explain it slightly differently, so maybe it will work. But I'm not gonna take forever to explain this one because it's already done in glitch. I'm gonna leave the link in the description. I'm gonna give you the hard way and the setup to make it works every time, but a bit slower. So we need the sun for this, so let me just level I. Okay, so this is what you want to do. Up, flare console and go in the water. So this is what you want to do. So how do you do that? Well, you just step back here, you grab here, you turn, press roll at the right time, grab and get the flare console. So there is a lot to do, but it's pretty easy. So you can, if you're not confident, you can even do that. Grab and turn, and then do what you have to do. So this is slightly slower, but this is safer. So how do you do that? I explained it, but there is just one tricky thing. So what you do is you do this, you turn, you stop turning when you are at this spot. So you're basically 45 degrees, you're just facing the other collapsing tile. And you press roll at the right time. So you need to press roll at the right time. To know when you have to press at the right time, you need to hear the sound. So I will let you hear the collapsing tile sound. You will notice that collapsing tiles have two different phases in their sound animation. I will let you listen to that. So there is the sound when it starts to collapse, and there is sound after it's collapsing. And you want to press roll exactly between those two. This is not too precise. This is not really too precise, but you need to wait here. Oops, well, I did it too late here. You need to do it just before the end of the first sound, or in the middle of the two, but it's a bit more tricky. Here, no, and you grab and you flare cancel. So what is the use of that is if you don't do it, or if you miss, oops, well, if you do that, for example, you will lose a ton of health, as you can see. And in Glitchless is pretty bad. So this is what you want to do. You don't want to do you don't want to do it here. If you are here, you're too much right, and that will happen. For example, and you won't make it. And if you're too much left, obviously, you will be too far to grab, and it will be even worse. So this is what you want to do. Simple. just a bit of practice. Press grab here, turn, sound, and grab. So here, because I explained, it's hard to listen and explain, but that's how it is. Grab, turn, now, and grab, and flag console and go in the water. So this is what you want to do. There is an easy setup. So you just slide on here. Oops, no, that's not that. You slide on here, on the side here. Go to the very left. Let go. Roll, side flip left. Move forward and holding grab, and you will make it. And you will do that or whatever you want. So this is the setup. One more and last time. Shimmy left. Roll, side step left. Move forward, holding grab, and you got it. And you flag console on it and go in the water. So if you're really, really bad on med, like I said, really bad because you're gonna lose some time doing that. So if you really are bad on med and you won't be able to finish the run if you keep going this way, you can kill the next two guys. That is here. So we'll have two guys spawning here. So as you can see with the hard road, you will have barely enough ammo. But if you do, you will have two small med packs here and auto ammo pickup for killing those guys. So this is a backup in case you really have trouble. And you can also try to get a double from it, so it can be relatively fast. Anyway, what you do is you go in the water and you pick up that med pack. And you're gonna press the M16 hotkey because you're gonna need the M16 to do the ambush. So let's go. Let's save here. So you just emerge and kill everything you can. Going forward. Try to kill the gun guy here. First, kill this guy. And you kill this guy, and you pick up his med pack. So there is a couple of things I need to say about it. So first you want to try to shoot at the gun guy, as I said, because they are the ones that can damage you so much. So if you see that Lara is shooting at the melee guy, you try to stop pressing action quickly, and she will be likely to switch targets. So you do that, and also what you don't want to do, you don't want to do this. Like this, or this, for example. If you roll, you will break the M16 shotting, and that won't be good. So I did a couple of things wrong that I'm going to mention. So first, what I did is I jumped here. I did a jump here, and it's not good. Why it's not good? Simple reason that because the shotgun is always far away. If you shoot him, she's gonna stop shooting here because she will be high here, and she won't be able to see him. So you will lose a bit of time, and also it will be more likely to shoot you more because you will take more time to kill him. So that's what you want to try to avoid first. Then second thing I did wrong is I rolled. So for example, if you kill the shotgun guy here, if you roll to kill the melee guy, what's happening is, as you can see, there is a slight amount of time, like maybe half second or something, when Lara can't shoot. It's because of the way the M16 mechanic works. So what you want to do to save time and maybe some health sometime, you keep going here, you kill a guy, and you turn, and if you turn and not roll, you will be able to shoot instantly. If you roll, that will happen and it will be a bit slower, and the melee guy can hit you more. So those are the two things I wanted to mention. So here So here it will be a pretty bad one. But couldn't really do anything because I tried to switch target, but she didn't. But it would have been a bad ambush because I would have to use a med in the end, probably, or a level. Well, I would probably have to use 2 meds for this level instead of 1, so that would be bad. Like this. So this would be the perfect ambush, in theory. And you pick up a small med and you keep going. I'm not gonna pass a lot of time on this because it doesn't really deserve it. You will understand quickly how the RNG is gonna happen and etc. by practicing. And then once you pick up a med pack, it will depend. You will have slightly different position. You can be here, you can be here. So you have to make your own sequence to do this part. And grab here and pull the block. And you won't get set on fire doing that. So, there is a small setup to do to avoid having this situation, for example, where you'll be set on fire because you're too much right. So you just go on top of a block, go to the very left, sidestep once right, and do that, and you'll be able to push it every time. So this is slightly slower, obviously, but it's completely safe. And if you don't, you just want to aim roughly here and pull the block. Of course, you don't want to jump too early, because if you jump too early, that will happen. Well, you will get sent on fire, that's what I mean. Also, you don't want to aim too much left, because if you aim too much left like this, you will have to do something like that, and that's not good at all, because you will lose much more health than you should. So basically you just jump and aim at here, and you pull the block, preparing to use a large med at the last moment possible. And from this point you have 2 ways of dealing with the things. First is the easy one. You just jump quickly here to avoid the damages, and you go forward and roll, and you push the block again to keep going. So why do you do that? Well, some people wondering why we switch here. The reason is super simple, is if you keep going, you will be still damaged by the fire. So you have to use 1 extra large. But if you push it from here, because when you started pushing it there was no fire next to you, you won't lose any damage pushing the block even though you are in the fire here. So you will lose only slight damage from after you push a block. So you basically save a large med doing that. So that's the reason we do that. Also, this is not a glitch, because you might think that not being set on fire is a glitch, but it's not. So this is the first way. You just jump and then push the block after rolling, or you can draw. You can do this basically and avoid the climbing, because climbing is slow. It takes 2 seconds. So you can just run around the block and push it. And that's say like 1 second roughly. But it has some risk. Well, not a really big risk, but well, actually a big risk if you really mess it up. But for example, here it was pretty fast, but what can happen is you have to be careful, because when you run around, you can just easily be too much right like this, or you can easily be too much left like this. And if you're like this, here would maybe work, I'm not sure, but if you're like this, for example, if you push a block, you will be sent on fire after you pushed it. I'm gonna show you. So here I don't take damage, but right after it, I will be sent on fire instantly. So this is relatively risky. Take it at your own risk. This is only optimization for advanced strats, so just be careful about that. But you have to know that you can do it. So you just run around here and you push it. So for example here, it might work, I'm not sure actually. Okay, it won't work. Okay. So as you can see, this is really easy to mess up. And if you realize, for example, you're too much right here, what can happen is you have to sidestep and then the strat becomes slower. So you have to be careful about that. And then you push it again. And you have two other ways of dealing with a push. So you can either do the same thing, climb, and go here, and do this jump, which is relatively simple, so I'm not going to explain. Or you can do the exact same thing. You can turn, roll here, do a jump, and you save a second like this. So this is exactly the same mechanic, so I'm not gonna pass too much time explain it again. Just do this, do a jump here, and another jump here, and you're good to go. And then you have to choice again. You can do a slightly faster strats like this, pulling the lever directly, and you will be likely to be hit like at least one time, generally 2 or 3. Or you can do this strats. Oops, not this strat, obviously. What you do is you pass behind that guy. What it does is it gives you like 90% chance of getting inked 0 time if you do it right. And if you do it wrong, you will be hit only 1 time maximum. So this is something you have to know if you want to save meds. So you just go behind him, pull the lever, and keep going. Sorry, I'm pretty unlucky, or I'm missing something. Maybe I think you have to jump early. That's why it's a bit tricky, but you kind of want to curve here and do something like this. Well, not like this, sorry. Let's try that. Okay, that didn't work here, probably. Okay, let me give you a second. That might work. Yeah. So, because you're passing behind him, what's happening is he's going the other way you're going, so it gives you more time to push the lever and do the thing. So here I'm probably missing something, but if you pass behind him the right fast enough, you won't be hit anytime. It's also related to my starting position. So for example, if I start here, oops, if you climb from here, you will be able to pass behind him relatively easily, and that will happen. So here I was unlucky, but it would have worked. So yeah, this is easier if you come from the left, because you will be able to do that. And then you do that, and you keep going. So this is just quickly, because this is really again slide optimization only, so let's keep going. So then there's 2 strat. You can do the look strat like this, where you just use the look button and you grab. So basically how it goes is you do your jump here, and you press, during this jump, you press left and look at the same time. Well, you press look a bit before left, I mean. And the camera will look on the side, still pressing forward, obviously, because you want to keep going forward. So like this. And then you jump at the right time, and you're good. So this is how the look thing works efficiently. So you just use the look button to look on the side and see where you jump. So this is the first way of doing it. And there is another way. So you just jump from here. Count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 step and you jump. So obviously if you jump from here, from the middle of the tile. If you jump late, for example, if you jump at the very edge like this, go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you do the same jump, and it doesn't work. Okay, you need to delay the 5th one, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you wait slightly, a half step, and you go for it. But if you jump early enough, like here, well, you need to make the jump, but if you if you make the jump and you're not really on the edge, you just want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 step, and you're good to go. So those are the two possibilities to YOLO the jumps easily. And if you don't want to YOLO those jumps, you just walk here, step back, and do the jump. And it's pretty much slower, but the result is the same. And then there is two possibilities. You do the same look thing, exactly the same one. Or you do the sequence, which is standing jump, 1, 2, 3 steps, and you jump, and you're good to go. So this is as you want. And then you go here and keep going, and the level is pretty much over. You just have sequences and it's pretty easy. So you do standing jump and then you running jump here, and you will get the perfect sequence. You can do only running jump, but you need to curve a bit. And then you have this guy you're gonna kill with Magnum's auto. So I kill him like this because I think it's the fastest way and the most efficient. So I do this, I turn, 1, 2, twist, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep going. So for me this is the best. I see some people doing like this. But those have two disadvantages. First, Lara can shoot with one gun, which is not efficient enough. And secondly, if you roll and etc., Lara is more likely to miss shot. With my strat, she never misses a shot. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you keep going. I never missed a shot with that strat. And then you open that door. So whatever you do, you keep going. You try to do a running jump here, which is relatively tricky, so if you can't do it, you skip it. Pull the lever and keep going, and try to get the med pack. So if you do my strat, the med pack will always be at the same spots. So this is pretty easy. You do exactly the sequence I just did, and you curve a bit. Well, not like this. You curve a bit here, and you do another jump, and you will be instantly on the med. If you do it straight like this, you will miss the med. So you need a slight curve. Maybe not that much, but because there's a camera, you don't need to trigger the weird camera here to make it. You can do it here, for example, up. And you get the med and you keep going. One thing, if you miss the med, if you, for example, you try to get the med here, you miss it, try to step back, still doesn't work, try to roll, it still doesn't work, etc. You have to know that the door here is timed. So if you miss it 2 or 3 times in a row, and then pick up a med, you won't make it in time. So if you miss it like this, don't worry, just keep going, take the time door and pick up that flare, and you will take the med pack on the way back. Don't worry, it will still be here. Then you push that block, and then you either do this sequence, just turn here and get to the lever like this, or you step back and then hold forward and left to make directly to the lever. This is as you want. And then you go back and take the med if you still haven't. And you're gonna twist at the last jump to go the right way in the water. So here you twist, and you go in the water. And you're gonna just try to avoid the sharks, which is pretty easy. So don't worry, generally the RNG is fine, so yeah. Just swim to the key and it will be fine. And if you are really unlucky, the shark can be on the key, but it's really rare, so this is just basically a RNG situation here. Also, you just want to slide down to this wall here. No, slide on. Swim close to this wall here. The reason is the shark will never come close to you if you do that. So there will be a block on your right, and that's it. So just go along the ship, and you will be fine. And when you emerge, standing jump and running jumps, and you go there, picking up a double pickup of auto, and you keep going. Be careful here because that corner is sticky and can make you void. So don't cut it, don't try to cut this corner or it can turn really wrong with you. Then you do a side step, standing jump here, or running jump to the lever to get the best sequence. And then you go again. So this is basically, this is not boring, but because this is relatively technical, but this is really not difficult. That's all I mean. This is just sequences and etc. So just be focused on your sequences, it will be fine. So then you roll here and you push that block here. Try to be on the right of the block. The reason is you want to get a sequence after that. And if you're not on the right, you won't be able to do it. So this is this sequence. Oops, not this sequence, obviously. So I think maybe a bit too much left or something. No, okay. So this is the sequence you get. So what you do simply is, so you can obviously do that, but it's a bit slower. So if you want to do the sequence I did, you step back and tap slightly left. So here maybe I tapped too much already. And then you do a standing jump, and you do a standing jump and you press forward and left, and you keep holding forward and left until Lara starts running on the block, and then you'll be fine. So step back pressing left. It wasn't enough here. She will turn slightly like this. We do a standing jump up, and when she lands, you just be sure that she keeps running, and then you can let go or run or forward, and you just press left and she will instantly go to the lever. If you keep pressing forward, you will get a small bump like this, and you will lose half a second or something. So you just step back, press left, standing jump, pressing left or forward, let go of forward when you land, and you do this. And then you keep going like this, and you climb here. And this is basically the end of the level. So then you do 2 running jumps here. You try to be on the left so you can do this jump. So at the third jump you delay. You are 1, 2, oops. Instead of directly jumping, you delay by 1 to 3 steps and then you jump. So here it was inefficient because I saved at the wrong spot, but 1, 2, 3, and you do this, and you directly jump here to the water like this, and this is pretty easy. Don't have to worry about the glass, or you can save half second, 1 second doing this harder strat. Oops, not this strat, but basically that's what it looks. And this is much more dangerous, as you can see, as this is between 3 blocks that can kill you, basically. So basically you do that, you do a U-turn here, and you just do the jump really late, and you have to late grab. Well, you don't have to late grab at the last frame, you just late grab and it will work. So if you do it too early, like this, that will happen. So you have to be careful. So you really need to jump late, like this. Oops, not like this, but you need to jump here. So here it was more than enough, but you don't need to jump that late. Oh my god, okay, whatever. Let's say you make a turn, you can jump from here, for example, it will work if you let grab. So I didn't aim right, but it would have worked. Oops. So basically, to make it work, you need to do U-turn directly and do the jump. Because if you do this, for example, if you do this, wait, aim, and then do this, like this is totally worthless to do, because you will be faster doing the safe strat, which is this one. So just, if you're not planning on YOLOing and doing the U-turn, don't do the sequence I'm showing. Oops, so here it didn't work. But that's basically the only things I have to say about that drop. So for example here it will work. Yeah, okay. You don't need to touch the slope, I'm just messing. You have to land directly in the water like this. And you keep going. So it saves 1 second. And when you finish the level, just be careful here. You don't want to be low here like this. If you do, there is a chance you void here and you can't get out of that void. So basically it's rip-run. So when you are swimming in this last part, you want to stay up in the room. And if you stay up in the room, it will be fine for you. Here, oops. Stay up here in this corner and then you're good. You can do whatever you want. But this corner can make you void. And then you keep going and you finish the levels. So that was relatively easy. I hope it was still explained enough. Didn't enter into every details in sequences because they are relatively simple and they are not risky at all, so except the ones I explained. So that's it for Mario Doria. Thanks a lot for watching. Next one will be Living Quarter, which will be much harder. If you have any question, as usual, you can ask in the commentary, and see you next time.